Dog in a Village, written by Dr. Lokendra Singh, published in the year 2007. Dogs in Villages cried the caption of an article in the newspaper on page 6. The article very nicely analyzed the problems and pushed me down memory lane when I and one of my colleagues got bitten by serve the rural masses bug. We got the job easily. Our request to Chief Medical Officer of District for posting at Tehsil level hospitals with surgical facilities on the plea that we have done post graduation in surgical specialties got the following response. मुझसे पूछकर किया था क्या? My first journey itself startled me with a scene of a roadside delivery being conducted by two men and two women. I could not believe my eyes, but nobody else looked bothered. The village was just a patch of few constructions on either side of the road. I reached the dispensary with my bags and baggage. The building was small and very poorly maintained. Some goats were grazing inside the boundary wall on one side of main gate and a cow on the other side. Compounder was summoned from his house. He gave me a register to mark my joining and asked me when I was planning to leave. He looked very surprised when I pointed towards my luggage. During working hours, the compounder used to practice at his home and Pune used to look after the herd at the dispensary. Everybody used to call him Doc Sahib without paying any attention to me. Tribals had their own ideas about ailments and demanded treatment as per their understanding. One day, a person with conjunctivitis, that is, sore eyes, came to dispensary and somehow decided to consult me. I examined him and gave prescription for eye drops. He went to market as hospital was equipped only with belladonna plaster, carminative mixer and tab APC etc. The drugs I thought were obsolete. The village had its own political and social hierarchy. Gram Pradhan, that is, village head, a petty shopkeeper, was empowered with taking my attendance and he could stop my salary. A fact impressed upon me by him again and again. I was supposed to keep him in good humor. Even the head constable was addressed as Head Sahib, and it was below his dignity to come to dispensary. He always expected my visit to him for his problems. Whole village had only two houses with flush toilets. One was occupied by a school teacher. With lot of persuasion, I could get the other house on rent, or else my wife would have certainly divorced me. There was nothing like privacy. Tribals used to barge in my house at any time of day or even night. If the door was bolted, they would use window for communication. One night, when we were fast asleep with doors and windows bolted, a man climbed to the ventilator of the room, peeped inside, and shouted from there. Later on, he threw pebbles to wake us up. One can imagine our situation. A newly married young couple. Usually, tribals would ask me to call my father, thinking that I was doctor's son. A lean and thin young man with boyish look did not fit in their mental frame of a doctor, and many of them went to the stockily built compounder for consultation. All the private consultations were paid either by corn cobs, a major crop of region, or by mahudi, that is, country liquor made of mahua flowers. Generally, people were simple, but how long this factor alone could keep a highly trained professional like me there? My all efforts for posting at a center where surgical setup was available fell on deaf ears as I did not have right connections and approaches. My postgraduate wife had no company whatsoever. We were expecting our first daughter, and even her future started bothering us. How could I stay and keep my family in such a backward area where even moderate civilized life was a constant struggle? One fine morning, I quit the job. I salute the doctors working among tribals in Vidarbha and elsewhere, but it is not possible for everyone to live up to those very high ideals. Everyone is also not lucky to get illustrious role models like their fathers. It is not to belittle their sacrifices, but it does matter at the end of the day. Whether we give enough incentives for young professionals to stay in a village is a big question even for today. Thank you for listening.